Hi, my name is Diane. I donated a kidney to a gentleman by the name of Mitch back in April of 2012. He was profiled on a website called Western New York Kidney Connection and was one of dozens of people in my community looking for a kidney donor. I was motivated to donate a kidney because in my experience as a registered nurse for many years, I had seen many people suffer with chronic renal failure and other debilitating diseases, and always felt incredibly blessed with my own good health. And when I retired, my immediate family, my parents, my husband, and my two grown boys required very little attention from me, and I just felt like this was a very good window of opportunity for me to do something for someone else outside of my family. When I started researching living donation, one of the most surprising things that I learned, in spite of being a registered nurse in a large metropolitan hospital that had a huge dialysis unit, was the incredible number of people in need of a kidney in my own community. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of people living on dialysis or on the cusp of needing dialysis that will benefit by a transplant. The other surprising thing that I learned was the incredible in-depth physical and history taking that is performed on a potential living donor, making sure that any potential surprises or risks to that living donor are absolutely minimized. I always felt totally safe the entire time during the process, and it was truly the greatest physical that I had ever had in my life. One of the biggest concerns I had about the donation process and the surgery itself was that I wanted to make sure that my parents, my husband, and my children were well informed and well educated about the process, that they knew what to expect, and that they were reassured that there would be as minimal a risk to my health and safety as possible. That was a really big deal for me. I did not want to put them through any undue stress. I wanted to make sure they knew what to expect and could be right there, feeling good about the whole thing and available to support me. The other thing I think many people are concerned about and did cross my mind and was the first question my husband had is, in the event that one of my children needed a kidney someday, I obviously would no longer be an eligible donor. I was incredibly blessed to share that concern with my sister, who assured me, because we are the same blood type and we are the universal donor, that in the event that one of my children needed a kidney, that she would happily step up to the plate. So those were my two biggest concerns. A couple of the things that concerned me prior to surgery, but I ultimately found peace with, were my older son had initially expressed a great deal of reservation about why I was deciding to put myself potentially in harm's way for someone I had never met. He was very concerned about that, very frankly frightened by it. And short time later, he came back to me after having a conversation with his fiancée and decided that because I had been supportive of his decision in many decisions in his life, that it was my turn to get his support, and that just meant the world to me. The other thing that happened during the period of time prior to surgery was that I got to know my potential recipient through email. We had not met face-to-face and did not until a week before surgery and communicated strictly by email. During that period of time, I was amazed at the concern that Mitch and his wife Cheryl showed by email for me, and making sure that I was well educated about the procedure, that I knew what I was doing, that I was comfortable with my decision, and that my family was as well. They constantly put their concern for me ahead of their own concerns, and it gave me a great sense that I was going to donate to some really terrific people. I was in the surgery for approximately 5 hours. I had what was called a hand-assisted laparotomy. The incision I had is about 4 inches long or so, and the surgeon actually uses his hand to assist with the extraction of the kidney. It's a little more invasive than a laparoscopic procedure, but I felt very safe, and the surgeon assured me that it was a really good way to go. I was admitted on a Monday and was discharged home on Friday morning. I probably could have gone home on Thursday, but they just wanted me up and moving a little bit more than I was before they discharged me. The best moment after my surgery was opening my eyes to find Mitch's wife Cheryl standing at my bedside with a couple of her children, telling me that Mitch was doing very, very well, that my kidney in his body began producing urine immediately, and that he was safe and sound. The second best moment was the day I got to go and see Mitch in his room, and he was sitting up in a chair. We gave each other big hugs, and it was just one of the most amazing moments in my life. My surgery was at the end of April, and in the middle of May, we were able to take our first camping trip of the season. And aside from needing a short afternoon nap each day, I was able to totally do all the things I enjoy when we go camping. I'm going to say by the middle of June, maybe a month later, about 6 weeks total, I totally felt like myself. I did not need any more naps. I was able to do everything I had always done. And by the way, I was 58 years old at the time of the surgery, so take that into account. Might have probably took me a little bit longer to feel myself as compared to someone younger than me. People often ask me if I had to change my diet, take any medications, stop enjoying a glass of wine after I donated a kidney. And of course my answer is absolutely not. My health is as good as it's ever been. I eat, drink, and do everything I did before surgery. And to top it off, I have an incredible sense of contentment knowing that my recipient is doing well and enjoying his life. So nothing has changed except gotten better. My feelings about donating a kidney immediately post-op exceeded all my expectations. I fell in love with Mitch and his wife and his family, their kindness toward me, their gratitude, all of that was beyond any expectation I ever had. But much more than that, 4.5 years later, I continue to watch Mitch enjoy good health. He's had children get married, have grandchildren, gone on trips, started golfing again, started going to Buffalo Bills games again with his family, going out dancing with Cheryl, and all of the things that he was missing while he suffered from his kidney disease. The sense of contentment and happiness that I get from that is beyond any words I can use to even try to describe it. It's a gift every time I get a card from them, a Facebook notification from them, anytime we have lunch together or I hear about another grandchild or another wedding coming up. It just exceeded all of my expectations, and they are truly, truly a blessing in my life. I would tell anyone that's considering being a living donor to educate themselves to what the process involves. There's a great deal of things that have to happen before the actual surgery and they can be kind of time-consuming and pretty involved. It's important that you're not surprised by that, and your local transplant center can help educate you about what that's going to involve. The other thing that you can do is go online and try to wrap your head around the sheer numbers of people in your very own community that could potentially benefit by a living kidney donor, because I think you'll be very surprised that some of your very own neighbors are on a waiting list or going to be in a short time. I would just encourage you to remember that a very short interruption in your life, a matter of days or weeks, can make the difference in the rest of someone else's life and mean everything to them and their family. My only regret is that you can only do this once, and I can't do it again, but I really wish I could. Thanks for listening, and God bless.